Hey guys, my name is Bumpa, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how you can climb the ranks in Valorant. Now, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know that when I was first placed in my rank, so when ranked first dropped, I was placed in Gold 2, and if you check my most recent highlight video, I've actually finally hit Valorant rank, so I've climbed from Gold 2 all the way up to Valorant. So I'm going to share a couple of tips with you guys on how to climb the ranks and some stuff that you can do. So first things first, something you're going to want to do is make sure that you're always playing meta composition. So if you look at this clip, it's from a stream of mine, and the team, I queue into a match, and instantly on my team somebody locks Jet, Raze, and Phoenix. Zerg.
Like the Zerg from Toy Story.
Doing good. And Kalita, how you doing?
You got an insta. Oh,
this is a dodge!
This is the fattest.
This is the fattest dodge I've ever seen!
I could do Brim, you could do Sage.
Hey, finally got Haven though.
Do you want to? I'm
I'm
kinda down, I guess. We won't have a Cypher though, bro. Nah, this is a dodge. 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 Now, in my opinion, the four most essential characters are Sage, Cypher, 1 and 2, Brimstone, and Breach, sorry. So those are my top 4 characters. Breach, in my opinion, can be replaced by like a Phoenix as long as you have some sort of initiator flashes. So in high-level tournament play, I would take Breach over Phoenix, but if you're playing Pugs and somebody really wants to play Phoenix, and say you have a Phoenix and a Raze on your team, but you still have Brim, Cypher, and Sage, it's not all that bad. So just, in general, you want to have Brim, Cypher, Sage, some sort of flashes, and some 5th floater pick. Viper can replace a Brim, Omen can replace a Brim, but only if you have like other on-meta picks. So just make sure you're trying to play meta. This kind of applies more to people in higher ranks. In lower ranks, you can kind of carry with off-meta picks because people aren't going to know how to play the actual game as well. So you can sort of get around it and just frag super hard. So yeah, talking about lower ranks, the best way, in my opinion, to climb lower ranks is to work on your mechanics and just get to a point mechanically where you can frag harder than anybody else in the lobby. So if you are in, say, gold, you want to get your aim, your movement, just everything, like all your mechanics, just to a very high level, and just let your aim carry you through, and the game sense will sort of come with it. Because you can't really learn a ton game sense wise from lower ranks because people aren't going to be playing how good players would play. Obviously you can still learn, and now you can't use that as an excuse either as to why you aren't ranking up, like, oh, my teammates are bad, or the enemy team's bad so I can't read them, like I swear I have good game sense. Like, no, you have to get your mechanics up to a very acceptable level, or you have to get your mechanics up to an acceptable level, and then when you start playing in higher ranks, you'll work on your game sense as it comes. Obviously, you need some general game sense, but that's beside the point. Another tip that I have for you guys is if you are queuing, solo queuing or duo queuing, or not playing with a 5-stack, make sure you keep a positive attitude, right? Go into your games, make sure you're not trying to flame your teammates. Don't correct them too much in any harsh way. If they make a mistake, be like, hey man, it's okay, dude, that sucked, but you know, you can do better next time. Maybe next time you do this. Don't just tell people that they suck. Don't tilt your teammates. Tilting your teammates is a surefire way to lose yourself the game. You want to be super positive, and you just want to be a nice guy and just take it round by round. If you have a buddy that you're queued with, do all your venting to him. Tell your buddy, hey man, our team sucks. I really wish we weren't playing with them. Do all your moaning inside the Discord, but don't let your other teammates hear it, and don't let them tilt. So just keeping a positive mental attitude is really important. If you are on attacking side, I highly recommend having some sort of like pick strategy, or like default strategy that you can do, or like solo strat that you can do to try and work and get your team a pick. I'll show you a quick example of what I like to do. As Cypher on Haven, I like to throw my cam up on the tree at the start of every round. Make sure if you're playing Cypher, you're throwing your trips at long C, yada yada yada. But I like to spot with the cam, see if anybody's playing. Usually a Cypher will be playing A, and I'll always cage that. And I don't have to always cross lower. Sometimes I'll walk through the cage, sometimes I'll cross lower, sometimes I won't go at all. But if I'm a Cypher, I'll always throw this cage every single round and activate it, because Cypher cages aren't super useful as smokes, so they're better for like denial of info like this, or long B on Haven for getting the orb. So I like to always burn a cage every round so that nobody who is, say they have a Cypher and he throws his cam, need to get my camera back. Well, no. Say their Cypher throws his cam long, so he spots for early info. Your cage will deny any and all info for their Cypher, and it will force them to play more honest. It'll force them to rotate back to short, maybe call for a rotate from the other team, but it won't let them have all this information for free. If there isn't a Cypher playing here, 99% of the time, somebody on the other team will always be watching this cross here. So your cage will just deny that info. And if there isn't a Cypher here, he's not going to be able to solo hold the site, so they'll get somebody probably to rotate off of B, and there'll be one less person in another part of the map that can rotate early. So just and when you do, if you do decide to go for a cross, what I like to work up short or long, try and get a pick. If I'm opping, I'll walk to A and I'll try and post up on site to see if the Cypher peeks me for info. And just making sure that you're getting rid of all the enemy's utility and whatnot. Last but not least, for carrying your way through solo queue, I highly recommend you become proficient with the Operator. The Operator is a very, very strong gun in this game and can really turn the tide of your team, of the game. If you don't have anybody opping when you're on defender side, be that person that picks up the op. If you're playing a character like, who's not a good opper, Sage isn't the best for the op. Cypher isn't always the best opper. Sometimes I'll force it anyway if I really need to, but just having somebody on your team on defender side who can op and get that early first pick is so important. If you are not aggressive with the op on T side, do not buy the op on T side. What will end up happening is you'll just end up sitting in your spawn posted on the same spot all game and not help your team at all. So make sure that if you are going to op on T side, you're proficient enough that you can move around and shoot with it while you're moving. But on CT side, always keep your op floating, you know? So if you pick long A one round with your op, make sure the next round you peek short A, or the next round you say, hey man, I know you've been playing C by yourself, but I'm going to come C with the op this round. I'm going to try and get a pick, and then I'll go back to my site, or something like that. And make sure your teammate fills the gaps in the other part of the map. But yeah, I ranked up the Valorant from mostly playing duo and trio queue. 5 stacking is obviously good, but most of the time you'll also play against other 5 stacks every once in a while, and those kids are usually cracked and their games are going to be really hard. So I recommend if you want to rank up, you play anywhere from a duo to trio queue, and just make sure you're following these tips, boys. Make sure you're keeping a positive mental attitude, make sure you're playing on meta, and make sure that if you're in a lower rank, you're grinding out those mechanics and really pushing yourself to be better mechanically, because the game sense will come, but you got to get that aim and that crosshair placement to a good point, you know? You're not gonna climb the ranks with shit mechanics, so you'll get punished the higher you go. So yeah, just keep working, guys, and hopefully these tips help you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.